His immune he doesn't have
He doesn't have an immune system because his mom didn't lick his head enough.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, BBs. It's too early.
It sure is.
Welcome to the first, best, and only morning show in existence. I'm Anthony Carboni.
And I'm Saige Ryan.
And it's Garf Day, baby! We garfing now! You thought it wasn't gonna happen, but it happened. Garf Day is upon us.
Now, that's because a trailer for the upcoming Garfield dropped today. But Anthony, tell them about your shirt.
My shirt says, "Real Garfield girls were born in March."
Wow. What an exceptional shirt.
Thank you.
That's somebody really cool and very kind and that loves you very much bought you that shirt.
Yeah, I'll agree with one of those.
Which one?
Hard to say.
Interesting.
What else are we going to talk about today?
Netflix Geeked happened. So there's a lot of announcements on the TV movie side over there. It's very convenient that this lined up when it did, and we get to talk about all of that because at the end of the strike.
But also games.
Also a little bit of news from games. We know Netflix has been dabbling into games a little bit, and we're going to talk about how so.
Yeah. We also are going to talk about that Coyote movie that we talked about. There's some potential good news about it. And the PTA has disbanded. I mean, the Overwatch League has disbanded.
And I know what you're thinking. Wait, there was still an Overwatch League?
Didn't that happen, is what you're saying to yourself? And the answer is no, not officially until a couple days ago.
All right. Anthony, how was your weekend?
It was lovely. I sat up waiting outside of Jim Davis's house with the other Garf heads, waiting for the Garfield trailer to drop.
Okay.
We all got together. We called each other on our Garfield phones, which we all got off the beach in France.
Okay.
And we called each other up and we said, the Garf movie's coming. The Garf movie's coming. And we stuck our Garfields to our car windows.
Okay.
And we drove to Jim Davis's house.
Okay.
And we all waited outside in our Garfield sleeping bags, eating our Garfield lasagnas from the Garfield Eats restaurant.
Okay.
In Toronto, Canada.
Okay.
And then I played a little bit of Like a Dragon, Gaiden, the man who erased his name.
That's a really good weekend.
Yeah, it's a good game, that Like a Dragon Gaiden.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's really good.
That's the one that has a farming sim in there somewhere, doesn't it? Or like an Animal Crossing?
That's the next one. That's Infinite Wealth.
Okay.
Like a Dragon Gaiden is the last game, starring the original protagonist of the Yakuza Like a Dragon games, which is Kazuma Kiryu, except he's like this big, dumb himbo thug, and he has been for 6 games.
Nice.
And they decided in this one, it would be funny if we tried to make him a spy. And he's just this big dumb himbo spy, and he faked his own death. And the way he did it is like he puts on glasses like Clark Kent. And he dares people to call him by his old name. And if they do, he beats them up for it. It's like if Superman was a gaslighter.
Honestly, that does sound excellent.
It's a really good game.
Great game.
It's a phenomenal game.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
What did you do this weekend?
I finally played Thirsty Suitors.
So good.
Excellent. And I saw The Marvels.
How was The Marvels?
No spoilers for
I'm hearing good
here.
things.
It's so fucking good, you guys. It's so great. It doesn't feel Marvel fatiguey at all. It is so fun. It isn't the like same repetitive Marvel tropes that we're used to. All 3 of the incredibly talented leading women were brilliant in it, but Iman Vellani, Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan carried that movie on her fucking back.
Wow.
On her small child back. Truly and honestly. And that's not to say anyone else in the movie was bad. It is to say that she is brilliant.
Literally, what is she, 16 now?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, she's like,
I'm disagreeing.
She's like 16 years old. And I mean, look.
Miss Marvel is the only role she has ever played. Did you know there's not a single other thing on her IMDb?
I love that.
This was her first role.
She went out for Miss Marvel and she got it.
Because she was Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
Like, that girl is Kamala Khan. I'm hitting my laptop about this. I'm so excited. It was such a fun movie. I teared up a little bit in moments of just getting to watch powerful women interact with each other. Like that sounds so silly, but like watching complex female characters, because, you know, for a while, Marvel was known for copy paste women.
Yeah.
No personality copy paste women, where they were just like, we're not going to write these women. We're not going to give them stories. They're women.
Women tough, women guarded.
Yeah.
Women secretly just want to have baby.
Exactly.
But sad that they can't.
Exactly. To watch these three characters that have like genuine and complex emotions be directed by a woman and get to have scenes that are just the three of them interacting, I could cry thinking about it. It was so lovely, and the dynamics were so great, and the performances were so wonderful, and the story is so fun. It's so much fun. And here's what I'm going to say. Everybody loves Special Boy Tom Holland.
Sure.
I'm going to say it. Kamala Khan is more charming than Peter Parker.
Sure. I could see that. I mean, listen, I haven't seen the movie yet, but if Kamala Khan is doing what she does in the comics, she is very much like the heart and soul of the Marvel universe.
She is, and I hope that she continues to be the heart and soul of literally everything that they make for the next phase of things. But like, you know, there's that like, we've got a kid with us, right?
Yeah.
The kid, the wow factor, and this is no spoilers for the movie. Like, we know that from the series of Miss Marvel that she's a Marvel fan. That she like desperately wants to be an Avenger. She is the biggest Captain Marvel fan, and like the sweetest kid too. And there is so much wonder in that it like truly for me reignited my love for Marvel.
Okay.
Because you're watching like a character love Marvel so much.
That's good.
And I feel like an actor love Marvel so much. If you see her in interviews, she is the biggest fan.
Oh yeah,
in real life.
She's writing comics and stuff now.
Yeah, she's writing on one of the new Miss Marvel comics.
Yeah, she literally continuity checks. She says she continuity checks Kevin Feige all the time.
Yeah.
And people have like backed it up. They're like, yeah, she'll check him on stuff. She'll be like, no, that's actually not correct.
Skywalker in the live studio audience said, I want to see Peter and Kamala interact, not even in their hero forms, just them. So bad. I don't want to see them in a fight together. I don't give a shit. I want to see those two awkward kids meet each other.
Oh, for sure. It would be really, really lovely. One of the things that when you go to the Avengers campus at the Disney parks, that they have is outside the Spider-Man ride. They have like the story of the line is like they're all part of this this special Tony Stark program for brilliant scientist kiddos. And as they have like little bios for everybody who's part of the program.
Cute.
And so there's a sign with Peter Parker. It's like Peter's really into synthetic polymers and blah blah blah. And then, but they have like Lunella there. They have like Moon Girl there. They have like Doreen Green and like Squirrel Girl, and it's like Doreen's really into computer science and like blah blah. And I'm just like, where the fuck is this? Where is this? And I know they've introduced Kate Bishop. I know they've got Miss Marvel now. Peter's there. Like, there's a Young Avengers or a Champions movie coming, and I just am like, when are we going to see everybody? I mean, America Chavez is there. I know we're going to see this soon. I know it's like, look, when they say Avengers Kang Dynasty, it's not the Avengers you're thinking of. It's clearly going to be the Champions or the Young Avengers. And I want to know who the lineup for that team is going to be, because I'm very excited to see all these good kiddos hang out together.
I don't know. I'm not saying.
Oh, they introduced the entire lineup in the movie, huh?
No.
In the Marvels, they're just like, well, it looks like we're going to have to be the Young Avengers, and then 17 characters that you've never seen in anything before swing in.
Yeah.
Val Vision is there.
Yeah.
They're all there. Hulkling is there.
Hulkling is there, for sure, yeah.
Wiccan is there, and they kiss.
Yeah.
Right there. It's like, oh, sorry, we know you don't know who we are. We're Hulkling and Wiccan, and we kiss, and we're the Young Avengers now.
Do you think Wanda's boys come back?
Wanda's boys aren't real.
We're in multiverses.
Wanda's boys aren't real, and women aren't allowed to be happy.
Oh, don't worry. Maybe she's dead.
We don't know.
And this is a spoiler for 3 years ago movie, so I think I'm fine with it.
We don't, who knows?
I don't think she is.
I think when...
Unless they don't want her anymore. I think they gave themselves the option of a dead lady.
They love to throw a lady into the lady pit. They love to trade a lady for a magic gem. You throw a lady into the lady pit and a magic gem comes out.
Yeah, absolutely. That's how Marvel works.
It's just like, we only have 5 of the 6 magic gems.
Yeah.
There's my wife.
But here's the thing. They also love to throw a lady into the lady pit and then bring her back.
Yeah.
That's also just a thing they love to do. So it's consistently like Schrodinger's woman in Marvel. She both is dead and is not dead until otherwise proven, which is very funny because I'm using the term. I was having a conversation with Elise last night, who I think is in the chat. Did you know that that's not what the phrase means?
What?
It's not like Schrodinger's cat is not dead and not dead until you open the box. It cannot be both.
Right.
It could be either, but it cannot be both.
Right.
So we use the phrase wrong.
Sort of.
I just used it wrong to prove a point.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to talk about it.
I mean, sort of. Like, it's true. You can't know which one it is, but it's almost the same as saying it the way we use it colloquially. It's not, it's not the most accurate, but it's not totally inaccurate. Here's what I will tell you, though. The best cat is Garfield. Now, before we move on to that, I do want to say there is a Scarlett Johansson Marvel project in the works. We know that. We know that this is happening. How many ladies do you think they're going to bring back from the dead to kill when they collapse the universe into one timeline? So, like, will they bring Wanda and Black Widow back?
Black Widow, Gamora.
Yeah,
those are all our dead ladies.
Well, Gamora's there is a Gamora.
I know,
but like, are we gonna have 2 Gamora?
I'm caught up.
Yeah, are we gonna have a 2 Gamora? What's gonna happen?
No, I think we've got a Gamora.
Then we smash them all down. Get rid of them again. For new timeline.
Yeah. No, I think they all stay. I think if they bring them back, they can't do it again.
I think it's a dangerous road to go down if they bring back Black Widow. Not because I don't want to see Black Widow again. I'd like to think that if they're doing a project with Scarlett Johansson.
You think it's an alternate universe Black Widow and not the Black Widow that went into the lady pit?
I would like to even think it's not an alternate universe Black Widow. I'd like to think we're going to get a story of Black Widow that we haven't heard before from sometime during her time as a spy or something.
I think there's no way we get another Black Widow prequel.
But I don't know. I think if you bring back, because they're talking about doing something with Robert Downey Jr. as well. I think.
Are they?
Yes.
He said he'd never do another one.
Kevin Feige said there are projects in the works with Downey and Scarlett Johansson. So if they bring these characters back.
Be a prequel. There's no way they're bringing both back.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you bring them back, there's a danger, and especially if you bring them back and keep them in the case of like Black Widow. Or Scarlet Witch.
There's a feeling of nothing's permanent, nothing matters. There's no stakes, no consequences.
And people are already sort of starting to feel that way. And you have to be very careful about managing that, I think, if you're in the position that Marvel's in.
I just think especially because like Robert Downey Jr. is getting older. I think the likelihood of there being an Iron Man prequel where we try and sell it that Robert Downey Jr. is like, this is before the death of Iron Man.
Yeah.
I think that would be a really hard sell, and Disney would probably not do because they're not going to CGI his face for an entire thing, even though they can now.
Yeah.
I don't think they would do that, which makes me think it's alternate universe. We have so many worlds now.
Do you know what I think it is?
What?
I think in the comic there was a very long time where Tony Stark was an AI. I think he is an AI, and we're going to see him in Ironheart. Maybe as a training AI or a Jarvis type AI for Riri.
All right.
I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. But what we do know, or what I do know, and what I've said this whole time, is we are moving towards the collapse of all this multiversal timeline bullshit to where it's like, no, there has to be one ultimate timeline.
Yeah.
Because otherwise people are going to stop caring about this even faster than they are.
Yeah. The Marvels isn't really about that.
No, I'm sure it doesn't go into that. The Marvels has a lot going on. It's got
has a lot going on.
It's got 3 main characters. You're introducing potentially at least Miss Marvel to an audience that doesn't have Disney Plus. So you've got a kind of reintro, which I'm sure they do really well.
It's so good.
people were like, I don't know, man. If I haven't seen everything, am I going to be able to keep up?
Yes,
of course.
absolutely.
You think they're not going to spend the first 15 minutes making sure you know who these characters are in a really fun way?
It's really great. It's not boring. There's the right amount of exposition for who these people are that you just like get the idea of it as they come together. It's really great. You don't have to know anything about any of them to get this, but also like just women directed by women. That's all. that's that's the thesis statement. If we learned anything from Barbie this year, women directed by women, oh, so good. Damn.
I
love when
Garfield.
All right, we can talk about Garfield now.
I love when Garfield. You know what I mean? When we get to GARFIN, ooh, we sure are GARFIN.
It's GARFIN time, everybody.
The trailer?
I haven't watched it yet.
It came out this morning. And folks, here's what I'm going to tell you. It's a thing.
All right, let's just watch the trailer.
Yeah.
Alex, will you pull up that trailer for us?
Now here's the
thing.
Oh,
wait, also, hi, good morning, Alex.
Hi, good morning, Alex.
I'm sorry, we got distracted talking about Marvels.
Good morning. Hello.
Hi, how is packing your whole apartment going?
It's really going. It's certainly
Alex is
going.
leaving us, everybody.
I'm not leaving forever.
Alex
I'm temporarily leaving.
Alex is actually abandoning us, his children.
We came in, this morning, and Alex put a Lunchables and his favorite toys into a bandana and tied them on a stick. And he said, "I'm leaving, and you're going to be real sad when I'm gone."
Yeah.
And
we said,
we will. We would be sad when you're gone, buddy. Don't leave.
I said, don't miss me too much.
I said,
don't miss me.
I said, we're going to miss you.
Yeah.
Come back. And he said, no, I'm leaving forever.
Yeah.
Goodbye forever.
He said it's kind of a bit, but also I'm leaving forever.
Yeah.
You can't keep saying this.
Yeah. And then he called us nerds, and we were like, the whole vibe of this has changed.
That's true.
Yeah. And we were like, what's going on?
I actually graduated to being in charge just in time to leave.
Yeah. Well, hi, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Alex's last show with us and before the holiday long break for Alex is Wednesday.
Wow.
Yeah, we got one more show before 2 months Alex-less.
It's too soon.
It's too soon. 2 months is too long.
Gone too soon. Rip in peace, our baby boy Alex.
Anyways, let's watch a Garfield trailer.
We have to watch this with audio.
Yeah. Okay.
So we have to watch it on one of our systems.
On mine then.
Yeah, because we have to hear the Garf.
Okay. That's perfectly fine.
Because as we know, the Garf is Chris Pratt.
Boo.
So we have to hear it.
Okay. Are we ready?
Pre-trailer.
Okay, yeah, obviously.
Got a pre-trailer.
Got a pre-trailer. I don't know why, but you gotta. I'm allergic to Chris Pratt.
So sad, big eyes, lonely cat.
I hate when they make animals sad. It's always a sad cat in a box in the rain.
Yeah.
And I want to strangle the person who writes that every time. Oh, big head, little legs.
Yeah. John also lonely because he's a weird dude.
Oh. Hi there, little buddy.
You ever just open a window in a restaurant?
Yeah. Just to let a cat
You
in.
hungry, little guy?
Yeah, and sit it at your table. It's funny that the first thing he said it wasn't. I see that.
Garfield! It's Garfield now!
Why wasn't he eating a lasagna? You know what I mean?
He just
I get
was,
it.
yeah.
But why would...
Because John doesn't order lasagna.
John.
Okay, now have you ever been with a plate?
Okay, we gotta mute this part of music.
No, Al, it's so high.
Okay, I guess. It's fine.
That's just Chris Pratt.
Yeah, he didn't do a voice. He made him normal.
That's just Chris Pratt doing Chris Pratt's.
And if you have young children, this would be a good time for them to leave the room.
You ain't never seen nobody
That's what they did.
Wait, who's Samuel L. Jackson playing?
Garfield's father, who we've never seen before. Because Garfield's lazy. He doesn't jump. Now, I know what you're asking. Could this get meta? There it is. Now,
Is Samuel L. Jackson Garfield's deadbeat dad?
yeah, that's Vic, apparently. That's apparently Vic. Now, this is where they say, hey, do you use social media?
Does your cat act like Garfield?
Scan this QR code and let us use your cat
Do you think they deserve to be on the big screen?
in Garfield commercial. Garfield commercial contest.
With the first trailer?
Yeah. Now,
And the final line is color me intrigued?
just about your cats, I guess. Because that trailer ended, and then we had the commercial for get your cat involved. We don't need to listen. So canonically, and I am a scholar of Garfield lore,
Yeah, look at his shirt.
canonically, Garfield did grow up in the kitchen of an Italian restaurant. That is true. Garfield and
That's
his...
not where they were showing. They were showing him outside of an Italian restaurant.
Yeah, and Garfield's mom lived at the restaurant with him, and they got separated when the restaurant closed down.
Aww.
That's from the original Garfield TV
Why
special.
are movies always doing mom erasure? Why can't cartoon characters have moms?
I don't know, mom erasure, deadbeat dads. It's like, listen, nobody goes to therapy.
But you know what I mean? Like,
No, if you're not going to go to therapy, why not just write a Garfield about it?
why can't cartoons have moms?
Oh, please. Sometimes cartoons can have moms. Rugrats have mom.
Yeah, not all the Rugrats.
No,
Actually, it's a pretty big storyline.
it's a
that
pretty
one
big
doesn't have a
storyline
mom.
that Chucky doesn't have a mom, and it makes him a weak boy. And it makes him a weak, sad boy.
Oh, he's just sad.
Yeah, and he's weak. He's always sniffling. He doesn't have an
immune
he doesn't have an
system.
immune system because his mom didn't lick his head enough. That's how kids work, right?
Yeah.
Your mom licks your head and gives you antibodies.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Chris Pratt continues to be Chris Pratt.
And every day I wake up thinking, I hope Chris Pratt stops being Chris Pratt today. And it never happens.
He didn't try to do a voice.
Nope.
He didn't try to do the famous Lorenzo music voice that we all know and love.
Yeah.
Or Bill Murray, who is just Lorenzo music, but more expensive.
Yeah, there's a moment when there's that like clear bit of him talking where he's like, the eating you're about to see is like a little.
The closest they get is in the trailer. There's that line where Vic goes, "You ever jumped a train, son?" And he goes, "I've never jumped." But it's just like deadpan Chris Pratt.
I'm just like, hire voice actors.
Just hire a voice actor. Because it's weird. They didn't mention, this is a stacked cast, actually.
Yeah.
John Arbuckle is apparently Nicholas Holt.
What?
That's Nicholas Holt as John Arbuckle.
Are there any voice actors in this movie? I love Nicholas Holt. I want to be clear.
Well,
these are a lot of very good actors and Chris Pratt.
Well, okay, let's see. Who's a voice actor? Hannah Waddingham? the boss from The Good Soccer Man? You know, the good soccer boy who's nice?
Ted Lasso?
Ted Lasso, the good soccer boy who's nice. Hannah Waddingham.
Okay.
She's there. Samuel L. Jackson, we already mentioned.
Okay.
Brett Goldstein. Also, he's Roy Kent from the Good Soccer Boy show.
I love Roy Kent.
We all love Roy Kent. He's also technically Hercules in the Marvel universe if Marvel decides to go anywhere with that.
Please. Please, I'm begging you.
If Marvel decides to go anywhere at all with that.
Please, my attraction to men is hanging on by a thread. Give us Hercules of Roy Kent.
We have Ving Rhames, Cecily Strong, and Bowen Yang. So no voice
no
actors
voice actors.
as you know.
Yeah. I mean, we don't have to like, you know.
But nobody who specializes in voice acting.
Yeah.
These
And again,
are
there's some very great actors in that. I'm just so confused why we continually get animated movies with no traditional voice actors in them. And sometimes it's like, wow, they were great. And sometimes it's like, well, you put Chris Pratt as Garfield again.
Yeah. Is Chris Pratt doing anything for you that anybody else couldn't do? Like, what is Chris Pratt bringing to the role of the Garfield? You know?
Yeah. Spirit of the Stairwell says, I'm here for Jewish Hercules.
We all are.
We're so here for it.
I mean, look, we all know who did this. Jeffrey Katzenberg did this.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Katzenberg did this, and he made Robin Williams mad, and now we can't have any voice actors in movies.
Yeah, I guess.
We can only have superstars who don't do anything special.
Yeah.
They almost never do anything special.
Janelle Santa Cruz says, he's here, he's there.
He's in the Garfield.
He's in the Garfield, unfortunately. He's unfortunately Garfield.
No. There are a couple questions that I have.
Okay.
Number one, like, we understand what the plot of this is. Garfield's reconnecting with his father.
Yes.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Not what I would have chosen, but that's fine.
Right.
Is there Nermal? I didn't see Nermal. Little gray cat. Where's Nermal? Nermal there?
Who's normal?
Little gray cat. The cute one. Cute little gray cat. And Garfield kicks him off tables.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Doesn't
we
that cat come in later? Is that cat always there?
I don't know. They're throwing in cats who don't even exist yet.
Sure.
What about Liz? Are we going to see romance between Liz the vet and John? You know, Liz the vet who accidentally serves John a coffee mug full of dog cum.
Sorry, what?
That's canon. That's a Garfield comic strip that happened. John is trying to be cool and suave and grabs a cup from Liz's desk and drinks it as he's like asking her out.
I want to throw up.
And it's the wrong cup.
I actually want to like vomit a little bit.
So did John. It was pretty funny.
That's not funny.
It's funny. It's funny comic. Garfield, everybody. Garfield's fun. Also, are we going to see Garfield turn into an eldritch horror?
Now that I would love to see. The answer is no.
Are we going to get an I'm sorry, John moment?
I would love to see. If you just throw in one line of it, people would be like, it would make people so happy. If you just had him one time say, I'm sorry, John, it would make him so happy. But I don't think there's any chance. They went very traditional, like cute kids animated movie with the intro. You can tell it's not, I try to be careful with being two adults watching things that are clearly made for children, of not being like, why isn't this for me? Why don't I like it? And I'm like, I get it. It was made for kids. It was not made for me. So like taking a step back from that and being like, I'm not the target demo. I get it. So it's not really something I can criticize. This did not look interesting to me at all.
No. You know what they need?
I love a lot of kids movies too. Like there's a lot of things that are made for kids that are some of my favorite movies. I have no problem with a kids movie. It doesn't even look like a good kids movie.
They've had a hard time, I think, reintroducing Garfield into, like, Garfield now is just around because Garfield's always been around.
Yeah.
They've had a really hard time, like, making kids love Garfield the way Garfield was loved in the 80s.
Yeah.
And they're just trying, like, every 10 years, they're just like, what if we try this?
No, they know most Garfield fans look like you.
Yeah.
Right?
Handsome.
Very handsome.
Wink. Do you know what they need to do?
And the oldest men on the internet.
And the oldest men on the internet. Do you know what they need to do? Do you know what the movie needs to be, Saige? I want $100 million, big budget, Hollywood remake of Garfield His 9 Lives. Do you remember? I think, did I not make you watch Garfield His 9 Lives?
No, you talked about it, but we never watched it.
Garfield His 9 Lives is the wildest shit in the world. It's literally every life Garfield had before he was Garfield.
Yeah.
And Garfield is the 8th life.
Right.
And Jim Davis just went ham. Like, in one of the stories, it's a silent story where Garfield is a lab cat that's being tortured in a scientific lab, and he escapes, and they find out that, like, he has special powers and he can do murders and turn into a wereman. It's wild. There's one about Garfield in the Garden of Eden, destroying the Garden of Eden.
The Garfield of Eden.
Yeah, the Garfield of Eden. It's an incredibly insane book that Jim Davis made, and they made a cartoon out of it, but they got scared and they backed up, and they just made it a little silly and a little more Garfield.
Okay.
But damn, baby, you got to watch some Garfield His 9 Lives. It's wild as shit.
Flying Squirrel asked a very valid question and said, do kids like Garfield? And the answer is no. Kids have no interest and probably barely even know Garfield. This specifically is like the origin story movie with the intentions of getting a new generation of kids into Garfield.
Yeah.
And we'll see. And then, oh no, I did a big scroll on accident.
Don't do a big
The Tension
scroll.
said also, if it is made for kids, why hire these voice actors that these young kids won't know with the excuse that you're hiring them to make people into the film? Right. Like, why not hire at least actors that like kids are excited to hear? Because I guess it's not that. You know what it is? It's they want to appeal to parents with that, and they want to appeal to kids with the movie. And then
because
you have
kids
parents
don't
that are
know.
like, oh, I loved Parks and Rec.
Yeah, kids don't know necessarily when they're at that age who their favorite voice actors are.
No.
You know what I mean? So they just want to see the cartoon character.
Yeah.
So and then you have to get the parents to bring the kids to your movie.
Yeah.
And so you do that by going, funny man you like?
Yeah. Which no. Now I'm not a parent, but not a funny man I don't like. Just I don't know. Everything about this trailer was absolutely lackluster to me, I guess is the best way to describe it.
It looks like we got so many homeless animal find a home, sing a song in the 80s and 90s. Lonely animated animal find a home.
We just keep doing it. That's fine. That's the animated trope. I don't know. The trailer was boring.
May I please, can we bring up my screen for a second? I'd like to show you some things that happen in Garfield, His 9 Lives. I'd like you to see this detective cat that's very good. There's a noir cat. I'd like you to see this horror cat right here.
Okay.
There's a part of the animated special that's called The Court Musician, where Garfield literally has to help a king's musician write a brilliant song, or both he and the musician will be executed by guillotine.
Okay.
Garfield His 9 Lives is very good, and I think everyone should watch it immediately.
Maybe we just watch that instead of the new movie.
Or watch it in line for the new movie. You're going to want to get in that line early opening day. Oh, yeah. I think this is going to be pretty huge. Just like Garfield. Am I right?
Like,
He's a fat cat. He's a fat cat, everybody. He likes to eat a lot. He hates a Monday.
do you think that if this doesn't perform, there is a chance people will stop making Chris Pratt the lead in things?
No. They will say, oh, Garfield doesn't work. They won't say Chris Pratt doesn't work. They'll say Garfield doesn't work. And it's true. Garfield doesn't work. Very lazy. Doesn't like to work.
But
Big fat cat like to eat a lasagna. Doesn't like to work. You know what I'm saying? Garfield.
all right. Well, how do you feel? You haven't really shared your feelings on this trailer, Anthony.
It's pretty whatever.
Yeah.
It's a pretty whatever trailer.
Yeah.
I don't really see much that, I don't know. Is it a good day for Garfs? I don't know.
Okay. Maybe it's a neutral day for Garfs.
It's pretty neutral. I don't have any negative feelings about it because, like you said, it looks like one kid's movie.
Yeah, one Metric Kids movie.
And I just wanted a little more from my Garf. Because if we're Garfin, we should Garf all the way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's what they always say.
It's like, don't half Garf.
Yeah.
You know?
Go
Don't-
Garf or go home.
Never, don't half Garf something twice.
Yeah.
When you can whole Garf something once.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
That's what they say. I still haven't figured out how to sit comfortably in this chair.
I'm noticing.
I don't know.
There's a lot of shifting going around.
There's so much shifting going on, and I think it might also just be my nervousness about the quality of this Garf.
I understand. Yeah, you're really tense waiting for it. Did we get a release date with that? This summer.
This summer.
It's funny that we're saying this summer when it's not the new year yet.
Yeah, but it's this
It
summer.
is the very next summer. There is no other summer before that, but it is weird to say this summer the year before.
Did we change it? The daylight savings? Is there another summer?
No, it just gets dark early. I want to go to bed at 5 p.m. It sucks.
I'm
old.
I'm like, damn, it's too late. I can't do anything.
Yeah.
And I look at my clock and it's 5:47.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, well, it's over.
Well, the day's over.
Everything's closed now.
It's
I
so
can't do anything.
funny
Everything's closed.
Because like I remember when I was cool.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, everything's better at nighttime anyways. I don't care that it gets dark earlier. I go out at nighttime.
Yeah.
And now it's 5:45 and the sun is down and I'm just like, well, I guess I'm in. I guess I'm inside.
What are you going to do? Everything's closed. It's dark outside.
I treat it like it's the purge out there.
It is.
After the sun goes down, I'm like, doors locked inside.
Between the murderers and the youths.
Yeah.
Can't go out there.
I couldn't possibly.
No. Also,
couldn't
everything's
possibly.
closed. It's dark. Where are you going to go? A store? No, they're closed. Sun go down, store go closed.
I did go out one time in the evening this week and it was to a great drag show.
Oh.
I did have a little fun on a Friday night.
Fun on
I
a
went out-
Friday?
I had a little fun on a Friday.
But that's the Lord's Day. That's Shabbat.
It was No, was it Friday or Saturday night? I don't even remember. I went to a drag
I
show.
don't know. Tell God
was
about it.
Absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah?
It was really, really great. It was really, really great.
Where was it?
It was in downtown LA and it's put on once a month and it's called Bitchin'. And it is put on by a friend of the channel, Bitch Puddin', who's a Twitch streamer here.
Hey.
Who's lovely and wonderful. And they had a bunch of like Twitch drag queens.
Oh, that's awesome.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Right? Like drag queens that stream and make stuff. And there's like drag D&D games. There's drag video game
That's
streamers.
amazing.
And just
Do
like,
you think they do it at like 3:30?
no.
Do you think they do it at like 3:30 on a Wednesday maybe?
No, here's the thing. As a member of the queer community, one thing I know about us is that nothing that we do will ever start on time. And doors opened at 9 and I was like, okay. I got there at like 9:45 feeling
Yeah.
like, all right, that'll be fine. And it said that like the performance started at 10:30. I forgot that we were all gay and that there was no chance in hell that would be starting. It started at like 11:45.
Yeah.
Because correct, I get it. I remember this now, but I didn't when I was getting in the car to drive downtown.
Yeah. Worried that you were running maybe a little late.
Yeah. And then I was like, oh no, if it's starting at 11:45, I'm going to be here so late.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's so silly.
I had a friend who had a birthday this weekend and was like, come to my birthday dinner.
Mm-hmm.
It starts at 9:30.
9:30?
And I said, oh, I love you very much. Happy birthday.
I hope you have a great one.
I hope you have a great birthday.
I will not be there,
you
but
know,
I hope it's wonderful.
But you know, everything closes at 5:45 now.
Yeah.
Where are you going to go get dinner? There's nowhere to eat. 9:30?
No.
No. Can't do
No.
that.
What, are you going to go to like a 24-hour McDonald's or something? It's the only thing that you can get after 5:45, right?
24-hour McDonald's close.
Even McDonald's?
Yeah, they get sleepy. It's
I was told-
winter. It's winter. They get sleepy.
Oh, okay. I thought I couldn't go out, but it could still be brought to me.
Maybe
Maybe.
by
Who could say?
some brave human being.
Yeah, that ventures out in the darkness.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
I can't.
It's frightening.
I truly can't imagine. Let's continue in a little bit of like movie, TV news. Let's go over some of this Netflix geeked stuff.
I like that there are a couple people in the live studio audience that are trying to give serious recommendations for things that are open late.
I mean, no, they're like a Denny's. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
You
We
do-
live in Los Angeles, California.
Also-
everything is open late.
Also-
we're not open late.
No. Here's the thing. It's a bit. Quick
Thank you.
reminder. It's a bit.
We just goofing. Okay, so Netflix Geeked Week
Netflix Geek Week.
happened. And we got a bunch of trailers for a bunch of new stuff. Obviously, we talked about Avatar: The Last Airbender on Friday, which kicked off Geeked Week. But there is a lot more.
Yeah, there was some big announcements of things that are coming up. Netflix says that Arcane season 2 is coming November 2024.
Yeah. Which people were excited that there is a second season, but so disappointed by how far away it is that it was a whole year away.
Do you know how long it took them to make that first season?
So long.
It's literally the longest production and most expensive animated production of all time.
Is it the longest?
It was in production for a very long time. They scrapped and I heard that they scrapped and restarted that thing a couple times. Wow. The fact that I heard November 2024 and I said, we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, we don't see as much delays on stuff like that. I believe it.
said-
A year from now, that makes sense.
I said, we'll see.
Yeah.
We got a trailer for Umbrella Academy season 4.
Yeah.
Which is very exciting.
I love Umbrella Academy. I know almost everyone has fallen off of it, but I still love that show. I understand we're not capturing exactly the magic of season 1, but like I'll always love the Umbrella Academy.
Yeah. I mean, they're basically, at this point, they're doing everything brand new, whole cloth.
Yeah.
So if you're like, I don't know why it doesn't feel like season 1, it's like, well, season 1 was the comic.
Yeah.
And season 2.
Yes.
But eventually they had to kind of just make their own thing out of it. And I think
like the thing.
Yeah.
Did you watch season 3?
I've watched a little bit.
Okay.
I haven't watched the whole thing.
All right.
You know how I am. I dip in, I dip out.
Yeah. We got so much stuff. We got a trailer for Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon. What did you think of that? Did you watch it?
I didn't watch it yet. I
Okay.
thought maybe we'd watch Snacky Zacky's trailer
All right.
together as a family.
We'll watch a little Snacky Zacky's trailer together. We can just go to my screen.
This was the movie that was his pitch for a Star Wars film
Yeah.
that he has turned into his own cinematic universe with the help of Netflix. He wants it to be a multi-movie series thing.
Yeah.
And it looks like a Netflix movie.
It looks like a Zack Snyder Netflix movie.
It looks like a regular Netflix movie that also has the Zack Snyder blue
Color.
filter.
Yeah. The Zack Snyder color grade of not a lot.
I
I looked at it and I was like, good thing this wasn't a Star Wars.
oh man.
I don't know. It's a perfectly fine trailer, but
Yeah.
like, I don't know. It's hard to do good sci-fi. It is. Like, I want to acknowledge that it's really hard to do like impressive, really good sci-fi when the biggest studios in the world are making sci-fi right now.
It's also tough. I mean, well, if you want to do big epic sci-fi, which is what he wants to do.
Yes.
And Netflix doesn't under budget things. I mean, you look at
Yeah.
this, it looks like it's got a big budget. I think the thing that hurts a lot of Netflix films and even a lot of studio films right now
Yeah.
is the way they have to shoot things in order to turn around a lot of VFX.
Yeah.
Everything has like
on.
that overly sharp, like depth of field look to it. Anything that's shallow depth of field, you can tell is,
Why is this not pausing?
I don't know. What are you trying to pause on?
They didn't put the Justice League.
No, they
They
did
put
not.
Man of Steel.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird? From the director of 300, Man of Steel and Army of the Dead. Why not? You literally called it Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Yeah, but what it's all about, whenever they do that, it's all about what kind of tone do we want people to see in this movie?
And Man of Steel?
Listen, plenty of people enjoyed Man of Steel. I'm not one of them. Man of Steel did pretty well. I don't understand it. I wouldn't have put Army of the Dead there either, except they did because it's a Netflix film. But yeah, you can really see like what I'm talking about, where it's like, there's a way you have to direct things now for heavy CG to turn
Yeah.
it around quickly
Right.
that makes every movie look the same.
I agree. I think that this does look a little generic for me. I think that I'm also not the target demographic for gritty sci-fi. That's not really, it's just not something I'm particularly interested in. I love sci-fi, but I love like a futuristic, cool and fun sci-fi and not
Yeah.
really a like, I've seen enough Star Wars. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like not enough Star Wars movies, but like if we're going to do Space Wars, I'd rather watch Star Wars.
Yeah, and I also feel like a lot of this stuff,
I get it. Small-minded take. I get it. But
a lot of this stuff looks like the high-end sci-fi stuff, like when we're looking at the cities and the ships and stuff, it looks very much like the sort of stuff you would see on your average production artist portfolio.
yeah.
What is the unique look of this that we're going for? What is this world about? And some of these
What do you
robots,
think that District 9 didn't give?
yeah,
that, you know.
some of these robots at the end that are kind of mixed with like the shamanic sort of
cool.
stuff. That's something,
That's something.
but
Look how many times his name is on this end screen.
that's Zack Snyder, baby. Zack Snyder, he did the story by Zack Snyder. Screenplay by Zack Snyder. Directed by Zack Snyder. Who produced it? Who produced it? Zack Snyder, probably. And Deborah Snyder. I just, there's
Alex, could they see that on stream? Thank you.
There's
That's
a-
so funny.
there's a lot of sci-fi out there. And it's like, I don't know what the hook of that is, having watched the trailer, other than look at this big sci-fi.
Yeah.
And I need a little more than that. I need a little more than that. That's all.
Yeah, that trailer didn't do much for me, but I'm not a Zack Snyder fan. If you are a Zack Snyder fan, I would love to know your thoughts on it. The thing about It's Too Early is Anthony and I share 98% of our like pop culture and media opinions.
Yeah.
I'd say 98% is fair.
There's so there's not going to be a lot of like argument, really.
Yeah, and there's not going to be like a Zack Snyder fan to come in and be like, here's why this is good to me. So if it's for you, let us know.
No, we have an alarm system.
Yeah, we don't allow Zack Snyder fans in the building.
There's a retina scan, and if it looks like your eye enjoys Zack Snyder.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. There's like a picture of Zack Snyder, and if you look for too long, done. We got a trailer for the Scott Pilgrim animated series.
The final trailer, it comes out in just a few days.
This looked great.
There was a special event on Saturday here in town.
Yeah.
Anna Monoguchi played some of the new soundtrack, and then they had a panel with Edgar Wright, Ben David Grabinski, and they had a lot of Brian Lee O'Malley. And they came and they answered some questions and showed some clips.
Very cool.
And I saw one of the clips, and I'm pretty excited.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited. They are expanding and changing the story in interesting ways.
Okay.
You can even tell by this final trailer that we see more from Ramona's point of view than we have ever seen.
Yeah.
And I think that's good.
Which is like the main reason that Scott Pilgrim doesn't hold up as a show. I mean, as a movie. Like Scott Pilgrim in itself, you look back and you're like, man, I loved this movie. But I do look back and go, well, I love Scott Pilgrim, but there are aspects of it that I look back on and I go, well.
And I think one of the reasons why it works better for Scott Pilgrim than some other stuff is they full on say in Scott Pilgrim, Scott Pilgrim is a horrible guy who's self-absorbed and doesn't know what's going on half the time if it doesn't involve him.
Absolutely.
So the fact that Ramona and some of the other women in the series are like
half people,
everyone's a half person to Scott.
And I get that.
And the whole thing is he doesn't see Ramona as a person. And that's part of the problem, right?
Manic Pixie Dream Girl.
Yeah. But there's no reason to tell the story that way when we've already seen the story that way twice.
Yeah.
So I like that we see that little conversation about between Ramona and Julie after the cubby wubby womb room tea night where they cuddle. And Ramona's just like, it was really lovely. Like you can say that she was actually into him.
Yeah.
And was kind of like hiding it a little bit.
She has opinions.
Yeah. Because of the Gideon of it all. There's stuff happening on her side too.
Yeah. Very cool. Let's see.
We got a trailer for that new animated
Exploding Kittens. That one?
We did get an Exploding Kittens. Yeah, show that Exploding Kittens.
I don't know what you were pointing at.
I was going to say Sirens of the Deep.
Oh.
The Witcher animated film that brings back Doug Cockle, the first canonical voice of Geralt.
Wow.
Video game Geralt is going to be the voice of Geralt in this animated movie.
That's great. Yeah. This trailer was great. Oh, too loud. No noise. No noise.
No noise?
No noise.
No noise. None at all.
No. There's too many to get through to sit here and watch them all. There's too many copyright claims that will hit us. We already did Garfield with noise.
Garfield with noise.
I can only fight so many copyright claims on YouTube a day.
That's my favorite Kandinsky painting.
Yeah.
Garfield with noise.
Yeah. This was super brief. It was just a teaser, but it looked great.
It was mostly to show Doug saying Geralt words.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They mostly just wanted to show, hey, do you like when Doug says Geralt words?
Yeah.
With the Geralt voice? Because we got it.
Yeah.
That's
we
late
got
2024.
A trailer for an Exploding Kittens animated series. This is a like adult animation, which is cute.
Yeah.
I'm very curious because it's giving a little bit of like Happy Tree Friends. It's giving like...
This is an animated series
Adult Swim.
for elder millennials.
Yeah, it's very Adult Swim.
It's gonna be a lot of epic bacon pizza. I've got a mustache tattooed on my finger.
Yeah.
It's like that's what it's about. It's about Talk Like a Pirate Day. Do you know what I mean? It's for those people. And hey, enjoy it. Enjoy that.
And good for you to all who celebrate.
Please enjoy.
From the executive producers of Beavis and Butthead, King of the Hill, you know, stuff like that where you're like, yeah, that makes sense.
And hey, To all our friends at Exploding Kittens, get that bag.
Yeah, love the games.
Yeah.
So
Get
that's
that
great.
bag.
Continuing, I just want to get through all of the animated stuff. We got
Yeah.
a trailer for Masters of the Universe Revolution.
That's right. That's the next Kevin Smith one. And we're seeing Hordak in that one.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because what's going to happen with the She-Ra of it all? What's going to happen with the She-Ra of it all?
I thought this was a really good trailer.
Yeah, I
This
did
got me
too.
excited for it.
I didn't watch, can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
Didn't watch the first Kevin Smith Masters of the Universe. I was a huge He-Man kid.
Yeah. What's that about?
I don't know. I'm a Garfield girl now. I was a He-Man boy, and now I'm a Garfield girl. And that's the way things happen,
Yeah.
you know?
That's growing up.
That's, baby, this is growing up.
I guess this is growing up.
Yeah. No, I'm excited. I listen, friends of the show are in it. Griffin Newman is, of course, Orko, and Tiffany Smith is in it as Tara.
Yeah.
So I should check it out.
Yeah. There were a ton of live action trailers in here.
Yes.
Not all of them particularly interesting to me. Did you have any that were particularly interesting to you, Anthony?
I didn't
Anything
notice-
stand out?
Not a lot of the live action. There was one more animated thing that caught my eye, though.
Oh, yeah?
Ultraman Rising.
Oh, yeah. That was down at the bottom of the article.
Ultraman Rising, featuring friend of the show, Christopher Sean, Kazuto Ziono
Yeah.
from Star Wars Resistance, and of course, Nightwing in Gotham Knights.
Yeah. Alex, can you just show our screens when we're talking about these?
Nightwing from Gotham Knights will be playing Ken Sato, Ultraman,
Yeah.
the
that's
famous
great.
baseball player who then becomes the Ultraman. And I'm very excited for Chris for this. I know he's very, very excited for it as well.
Yeah, that looks really, really good.
And it looks good. The Godzilla animated that they did on Netflix was pretty good. So
I didn't see it.
Yeah, it was a pretty good show.
Okay.
So I'm excited to see Ultraman.
Yeah, that'll be great.
Look at him jump up there and become Ultraman.
There was a couple of interesting looking live action things to me. Now, this one I think might be controversial in whether or not it is interesting to people, but Dead Boy Detectives?
Oh, I'm so hyped for Dead Boy Detectives.
I was really into Dead Boy Detectives.
Look, if you're a Sandman fan, if you're a Neil Gaiman fan, Dead Boy Detectives, such amazing characters.
So this is in the Sandman universe, as Anthony was referencing, and it is a story of two ghost boys that solve crimes as little detectives.
Now, the
Very
Dead
British.
The Dead Boy Detectives did show up in Doom Patrol. So it's interesting that this is now coming to Netflix.
Yeah.
But
Considering that's Amazon, that's interesting.
yeah. Well, Doom Patrol is
Amazon,
Max.
right? Oh, it's Max. Okay.
But Max is trying to find new homes for a lot of their originals
Yeah.
because of the Zaslav of it all.
Of course.
But we'll see if it's connected to the Doom Patrol series at all. It doesn't need to
Was
be.
it the same actors?
I don't recall.
Okay. Can we get a fact check on if that was the same actors, Alex?
But it's really
From Doom Patrol to Dead Boy Detectives on Netflix.
I believe it might be. I don't know. But it's very
check
much
that.
like, hey, this is the Hardy Boys if they were also ghosts.
Yeah.
This is teen detectives who are ghosts
Yeah.
fighting the supernatural.
It looks super, super cute. It's like a little CW-y in a way that I am totally fine with and enjoy. It's got that like Riverdale season 1, kind of feeling to it. It's more that than Doom Patrol for sure.
Yes. We have somebody, Seth Brower, who is a VFX artist who's in the live studio audience, actually worked on Dead Boy Detectives and says it's not the same actors.
Okay.
It was supposed to be a Max series. It went into limbo, production limbo, and Netflix apparently bought it up, and it is not connected anymore.
Okay, noted.
So it's not the same Dead Boy Detectives that showed up in Doom Patrol.
Particularly informed BB's in the chat.
Informed BB's in the chat. Let me tell you something. If you need to know about the CG of anything,
Yeah.
Seth Brower's there.
You love to see it. Thank you very much. That's cool. I don't know. I haven't seen Doom Patrol, to be honest, but
Oh,
I
so
know.
good. You'll love it.
It's on my list.
If you ever get around to watching it, you'll love it.
I know. But I loved this trailer. This just looked so cute and fun.
Yeah.
I love new and cute and fun, not a reboot of something. Obviously there is a source material, but not something that we already have like.
Yeah, no, this is not, we already had a Dead Boy Detectives, so let's bring back Dead Boy Detectives.
Exactly.
Although, technically, the Dead Boy Detectives have been brought back.
From the dead. Bow, bow, bow. We also got a new Millie Bobby Brown movie, I think it was.
Yeah, Damsel.
Yeah.
Damsel is apparently about a princess who gets kidnapped to be sacrificed to some sort of monster, and it reminds me a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was the one last year? There was like a series or a movie that came out about like a princess that basically it was like also a badass, and she gets kidnapped. She's like, well, I'm just gonna turn badass and fucking save myself. Somebody will remember what it was.
Yeah. Action movie princess. That's cool.
Yeah.
This looked fun. It's fun. I mean, really, Netflix is using Millie Bobby Brown for all they can get.
They have their people. Like when I watched the trailer for Rebel Moon, and I was like, there's Joel Kinnaman.
Right.
There's like you're seeing a lot of Netflix reuse. Their casting directors are definitely picking their Netflix people.
And you might have a situation where they have like a multi-picture deal with them or something like that.
I think the Robin Wright casting in this is particularly inspired. To have the princess from The Princess Bride as the queen in this is very
fun.
good.
This looks interesting. It looks like a fun little fantasy world.
Yeah. I like it.
It looks like a Netflix movie though.
Dude, we gotta figure out they gotta figure out how to make their movies not all look the same. And they have to look different than Amazon movies, and they have to look different than Disney Plus.
I know.
There's this thing now where like all movies are very flatly lit, very sharply photographed.
Yeah.
Very like the darks are crushed, the brights are oversaturated. Like every movie looks the same right now. And I'm like, where are the people who want to make something that looks a little interesting?
You know what it is to me? It is continually, whenever I say this about a Netflix movie, what I mean is it is a huge budget idea on a mid-sized budget.
Yes.
And that's what a Netflix movie looks like to me, because they don't scale down. They're doing these things that are like big CGI, big explosions, action movies that are on a Netflix budget, which is not the size of a traditional like blockbuster movie theater film.
But that's the thing that's wild to me is some of them are.
Yeah.
When you talk about something like Red Notice or whatever, that was a $230 million movie. You talk about The Gray Man, it's like $150 million. I would not be surprised if Rebel Moon and maybe Damsel, those budgets are not as small as we think they are.
Yeah.
I think a lot of things now are limited by visual creativity more than they're limited by money.
It looks like it was a $60 to $70 movie.
It was they made that with $70?
$70.
Sage, what are you complaining about? God, it was $70, Sage.
It was a $60 or $70 million movie.
You can only buy one video game for that, Sage.
I'm sorry. You're right.
Give him a little slack.
You're right.
Millie Bobby Brown worked for nothing on that movie.
Apparently, the budget for Rebel Moon is $166 million.
Okay, so Rebel Moon got big budget.
Rebel Moon is big budget.
They gave Snacky Zacky the big budget.
They gave him $166 million and a few high-tier actors, but not a star that's sucking $20 million out of Rebel Moon.
No.
$70 million for Damsel sounds right to me. It's just one of those things that like, I wish people knew how to take chances and photograph a movie.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just do. And I've heard from some people that have worked on some shows, like big budget shows and digital films lately, where they're just like, yeah, they make you shoot it in a very specific way because it makes it easier for the VFX people.
Right.
But it doesn't make it easy for the VFX people.
Yeah.
It just makes it easier to the point where it's like, well, if you're going to make us redo every shot 8 times, it's easier to do it if it looks like this to begin with.
Yeah.
If I'm going to be sleeping under my desk and doing this 8 times, at least give it to me in a shot that I can start with.
Sure. Angle the Fallen said Five Nights at Freddy's was what, 30 mil? But that was also considered to be a streaming movie. Even though it did end up going to theaters, it was also direct to Peacock.
Yeah. And I think that's another thing is like, how did you not know that Five Nights at Freddy's should have started theatrical and been like your biggest thing of the year? Like Five Nights at Freddy's should have been massively promoted. it should have been the hugest thing.
Yeah. Very interesting.
I don't know. Speaking of movies that should apparently be huge things. Oh no, we got to talk about games.
We got to talk about games.
I keep forgetting that Netflix has games on their phone.
Netflix has games on their phone.
Netflix has games on their phone. Netflix has games on their phone. Netflix has games on their phone. If
most
ever a
importantly-
game's on their phone, there was. It's Netflix's phone because
It's still going.
because the line has to go up. It does. There's no reason for Netflix to be investing this heavily in games. Line has to go up.
Netflix says line go up. I will say we're getting one pretty cool thing from it, from Netflix investing in games, is we're getting Hades on iOS.
That's good.
That's good.
That's good.
That's great.
I feel like we are now going to be in the Simpsons bit with the cursed yogurt.
Yeah.
Where you're just gonna be
know
like,
what that is.
where you're just gonna be like, Netflix or Hades is on the phone now. That's good. But Netflix is running the platform. Oh, that's bad. It's just gonna be up and down and up and down.
There's an improv game. Fortunately, unfortunately.
Yes.
It's that.
Yes.
Yeah. So fortunately, Hades is coming to iOS. Unfortunately, it's because Netflix is investing in gaming in a way that isn't really moving gaming
That
forward.
isn't sustainable for them or anyone.
So we got a teaser trailer for Hades on iOS, and it looks like Hades. The trailer was just Hades, and it looks great. Hades is an excellent game.
Yeah.
Best game of 2020.
Now on phone.
Yeah.
Do you have phone?
I have phone.
Like Hades?
Love Hades.
Play Hades on phone. Give Netflix $23.
Is it $23?
I think it's what is the Netflix higher end?
Oh, it's just like with the
Membership
highest
now.
subscription.
I think it might be every subscription or it might just be on the higher one. I don't know. I don't have a
know.
Netflix anymore.
Yeah.
I just don't have one.
Yeah. That's fair. Especially now that people can't share them.
I believe you can get it with the standard because
Standard.
I've played Netflix games with the
Have you?
standard. Yeah.
You've played Netflix games? I've never played a Netflix game.
Hey, you got Netflix games on your phone? What Netflix games do you have on your phone? You got that League of Legends one?
I played Oxenfree.
Oxenfree.
Is it in like the Netflix app? I wouldn't even know how to find the Netflix
No,
games.
you just go to the Netflix app on your phone and you can play games.
And you just play games right there?
Yeah, there are multiple of them. I think you it kind of downloads them through Netflix is what happened.
Sure.
like when you download, yeah.
But you got to
Yeah.
open your Netflix app and authenticate to open the game.
Yeah.
That's great.
Fascinating.
Hey, and Night School obviously bought by Netflix, so it makes sense that Oxenfree is there.
Yeah.
Some of the other games that they announced were Death's Door, which was that fun sort of isometric Dark Souls-like where you're a crow.
Yeah.
That I really loved from a couple years back. They announced a couple games based on their properties too.
I know a while ago they had said that there was like going to be something for Stranger Things, going to be something for The Witcher, I want to say.
Yeah. The ones that they announced at Geek Week, they did one for Money Heist, which is still the funniest title I've ever heard in my life. There's that Netflix show Money Heist.
That's right.
And they did like a Money Heist game. And I'm just like,
Okay.
all right, Money Heist.
Sure.
I don't know what that is. There was a good Queen's Gambit game too, which is like an adventure game / chess game, obviously.
Yeah.
Which I thought was fun.
There was one more game on here, which was the Dragon Prince.
Yeah, they're doing a
Makes
Dragon
sense.
Prince game.
So this is Zadia, the Dragon Prince.
The cool
game
thing about
for
making a
Netflix
Dragon
Mobile.
Prince game is if the frame rate looks bad, people think you're just
Doing the Dragon
doing the
Prince.
Dragon Prince show.
Yeah.
If the game has a terrible frame rate, people are like, no, it looks like the show.
Yeah. Did you watch the Dragon Prince?
I couldn't because of the way they animated it.
Wow.
I was just like this. It was giving me it gave me a headache.
I enjoy the Dragon Prince. I think it's great.
I heard that they stopped that frame rate stuff after the first season. I heard they like pulled back on that look because people were like, what is this look?
Yeah.
Did they?
I only watched the first season. I'm gonna be
okay.
honest, but I need to finish it. But
Sam Curtis in the live studio audience is saying, yeah, they pulled back on that look. The later episodes are better.
okay.
Yeah.
You think you'd give it another go?
I'll
Was
give
the
it
first
another-
season? How much of the first season did you watch? Just watch like the first.
I think I
episode
just
you
watched
can do?
like an episode or
Okay.
two.
All right. Yeah, I watched it in my I dream of more Avatar someday before any new Avatar got announced.
That's the thing is when I watched it, I was like, I can't give myself a headache watching the best version of Avatar we can have right now.
I know. It's very hard. And what I would recommend to people is stop recommending the Dragon Prince when people say they love Avatar The Last Airbender as like oh, you're sad you're out of Avatar, watch the Dragon Prince, because it doesn't give the Dragon Prince a fair chance.
No.
The Dragon Prince is a great show, but when you compare it to Avatar The Last Airbender, you're setting it up for failure. It's a hard thing to stand up to.
Yeah.
And the show deserves better than that.
It's always like that. It's like if somebody says, it comes up to you and says, I like the best thing in this genre.
Right.
What else is like this? You have to say, you have to put up the caveat of, well, nothing really.
Yes.
But if you want something that has similar themes, or you want something that has...
If you loved this, you'll like this.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough.
But there was a lot. I mean, listen, Netflix was clearly just like, please end the strike. Please end the strike. Please end the strike.
We have so much stuff waiting.
And they threw that event together so quickly.
Yeah, I bet.
And it was a great event. One of the other things they announced at that event that I thought was very funny, I caught like a chunk of it and caught the wrong chunk.
Oh.
Because they were doing an in promotion for Scoops Ahoy ice cream, which is a real thing at Walmart now.
Okay.
So they did like a Scoops Ahoy product placement when I was watching, and I was like, oh, I'm watching the wrong part of this. I'll come back later.
You did not come back later.
No, they did like they were doing like a 3.5 minute Scoops Ahoy bit, and I was like, I gotta go.
Yikes.
I don't know. Maybe they make a lot of money off Scoops Ahoy.
Or maybe they're trying to make a lot of money off Scoops Ahoy. Maybe that's the hopes.
You got to make a lot of money off that Scoops Ahoy.
For a while, there was a Scoops Ahoy at the City Walk. It was the downstairs area in Universal.
It was when they were doing pop-up stuff.
Universal Studios. But yeah. You know what that made me think of? I go on the internet this morning and I see Pokimane has announced, this is not in the spreadsheet, a snack company.
Got to do it. Got to have a snack company.
Why are the content creators all making snacks?
Because people need snacks, and when you go into the grocery store or you go onto the Amazon app or wherever, and you're just like, I need to buy food.
Yeah.
Think about snacks. Like, I just need snacks. There are a few snacks that I really like, but I couldn't tell you like if I like a particular brand of snacks usually. So they're going for that brand recognition. It might as well just be James Beasterson's, you know?
So this is Mina, I think it's pronounced, MYNA snacks. Looks like the first thing is cookies.
Those look more like those weird little bites you get when you subscribe to like a healthy snack box.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like a cookie so much as it looks like these are snack bites.
They're mini cookies.
They're like...
And this is no shade to Iman. This is no shade to Pokimane. I was just so curious, like, I want to know, is there one company that's like approaching content creators to make snacks with manufacturing? Because I got a DM from Feastables a couple weeks ago.
First of all, congrats.
Which is Mr. Beast's snack company.
Yeah, they call it Beastables Feastables.
Wild. And they were like, do you want us to send you some Mr. Beast chocolate bars? And I didn't respond.
And if we send them to you, if you don't want to eat them, can you stock them on the shelves and organize them for us?
Right. I was just like,
can we count on your free labor?
Yeah. I was like, oh, I don't need that. I'm good. Thank you very much.
I think this is good. I like that big streamers, content creators, influencers are trying to do things that are a little different than the standard stuff that you see.
Is this not now the standard stuff? I don't know.
I don't know. It's becoming the standard stuff, but I don't know.
Because there was, I think, did Pokimane do a skincare line too?
Did she have a G Fuel? Everybody,
I'm sure.
Who's had a G Fuel? Hey, do you know who's doing it right? Do you know who's product placementing right? Let's get my screen up if we can, Alex.
She did not. There was someone else. There was another big streamer that had a skincare
Here's the
line.
guy that's always done it right. It's Garfield.
God damn it, Anthony.
And if you look in Garfield's, in John Arbuckle's refrigerator right now, what's Garfield sitting next to? Why, it's an Olive Garden bag, Saige, and it's completely blocked.
Olive Garden product placement in the Garfield trailer?
That's right. There we go. What if I were to tell you, Saige, that maybe that adorable little Italian restaurant where John and Garfield met.
It looked like a small independent Italian restaurant.
Well, it's a family restaurant because when you're there, you're family.
Was an Olive Garden?
I don't know.
And he's holding the breadsticks?
He definitely is. He's definitely eating Olive Garden now, though.
Who keeps loose food in their fridge like that?
Just one hot dog?
One hot dog, a cheeseburger on a plate?
Not just one hot dog, but one hot dog that already has the mustard on it.
Yeah.
Maybe John is just like one of those people who's like, if I set myself up for success in the morning, you know?
Yeah, the burger on a plate with a lemon on it. Look at that. There's a lemon on that plate.
Yeah, there is a lemon.
There's a burger and a lemon on that plate.
Color-wise, it could be a lime. It's somewhere in between. And also,
definitely a lemon.
It's on a plate, and that plate is sat directly on top of a lasagna.
Yeah. Which is also just on a plate unwrapped.
John, buddy, we need to talk about food storage, but maybe we don't because of the Garfield of it all. Who knows how much food you actually get to store? Maybe you put that, because I don't know if you know this about Garfield, love to eat.
Is this how John meal preps?
Bit of a feastable. Yeah, this is, John Arbuckle.
Mustard on a hot dog and sets it in the fridge.
Known loser idiot.
Yeah.
Thinks this is what meal prep is.
Yeah. And it goes and orders a cheeseburger somewhere, puts it on a plate, and then sets it in his fridge.
And he says, that's for Thursday.
Yeah.
It's meal prep, Garfield.
It's meal prep. This whole hot dog in a bun with mustard on it. This one's not even on a plate.
Yeah. Here, you open up John Arbuckle's refrigerator. It's a bag, that Olive Garden bag is just full of loose fettuccine Alfredo. So it's an Olive Garden bag full of loose fettuccine Alfredo that he just sticks his hand in. He's got 3 open Beastables Feastables chocolate bars.
Okay.
And just a handful of Pokimane cookies, but in the little egg holders that are in the door.
So like built-in egg slots.
Yeah, the little egg slots.
Yeah. I'm baffled 3 times over. And I know they're like, this shot doesn't matter. It's a kid's movie. They're not going to look at this.
Yeah. And it's funny. It's funny cartoon food. It looks funny.
Funny cartoon food.
It looks funny. Pokimane, sell your snacks. Get all the bags.
Yeah. 100%.
I hope your snacks are good.
I do love that. I'm just like, how interesting that they're doing snack companies with like streamers and stuff. And I think they have this idea, and you know that there's like some big corporate board meeting.
Wait. Go back to that, please. Bring it up on your screen. One of those tabs on the left there. There it is.
That's what I was going to say.
I always like to see how far you can get into some gaming influencer's thing before some marketing person puts level up.
Yeah.
Hey, this product's going to level up your blank. Hey, level up your hemorrhoid care.
Jesus.
With Ninja's hemorrhoid cream. He sits for like 12 hours a day. You know? Level up your hemorrhoid care, everybody.
With Blevins.
With
Tyler Ninja Blevins.
Tyler Ninja Blevins.
It is very funny because I think about that.
Blevins heavens for your butt.
And I picture the like boardroom executives all making pitches, and they're like, okay, we've got an in with Pokimane. We've got a call of something that we can profit off of, this like, you know, big content creator. What do gamers do? What do gamers like other than games? And they're like, well, you got to have snacks to game. Am I right? And they're like, that's it.
They love to eat cheesy Doritos all over their fingers.
Yeah.
They love to have that cheese all over their fingers, and they drink a Mountie Dew, and they love it. And they wear a t-shirt that says, this is why I'm hot.
Yeah.
And it got fire flower on it, and it's hilarious.
The corporate ideal of a gamer.
Yeah. Yeah, these chunky Garfield people will buy anything.
But it's also funny because the snack is like gluten-free and like, you know, which great. I love gluten-free.
What's a gamer like? Well, they're a lot like the people in the chairs in WALL-E, I think. You know the movie WALL-E?
That is how they picture us.
I think they're like the chair people in WALL-E. And and they're also sexist and racist.
So
how do we sell a cookie to sexist, racist people?
The corporate ideal of a gamer, everybody. Anyways, that was not part of the news today. I just happened to open my Twitter feed this morning and see that announced, and I was like, interesting. And then I remembered the DM that I got from Feastables, and I was like, I never replied to that because what am I going to do with Mr. Beast chocolate bars?
Eat them.
Because
you like a chocolate bar.
I'm not going to I'm not gonna post about it on Instagram and be like, wow, thank you, Mr.
I don't post on Instagram every time I eat a chocolate bar. If I did, it would be hundreds of pictures a day. And nobody wants that.
Hundreds of pictures a day.
Yeah.
Of chocolate bars.
Yeah, every time I eat a chocolate bar. That's ridiculous.
That was hundreds with an S.
Yeah. Chocolate bars come in different sizes.
Yeah. And you could eat hundreds of, there is a size that you could eat hundreds of a day.
Yeah. I like to mix. I don't
It's
know.
an ambulance on its way here.
Good, because my heart's doing that thing that it does every day around 11.
Yeah.
I think it's because I need more chocolate.
Yeah, probably is. All right, continuing with the news. Let's keep going on some movie news. Let's give you an update on something that we talked about on Friday. There was a Wile E. Coyote versus Acme movie that was reportedly shelved in the Great Shelvening.
The great shelvening. When Lord Zaslav descended from the ninth circle and he said, "Woe unto all creatives, for I will destroy you to build my kingdom."
Yeah.
And he said, what is that, a $30 million movie? Gross. What are you going to, what does that mean? That means we maybe make $100 million?
Stop.
Gross.
Throw that away.
It's better to just say that we lost it.
And take a tax break.
It's better to just say, oops, we lost it.
Oops, I can't find it.
It came out bad.
Sorry, the coyote, I don't know where he went.
It's better to say, oh no, cookie came out burned. Got to throw away all the cookie. Sorry, we tried our best.
Where's Zowie?
I don't know. I did my best.
Where's Zowie?
I wish I could release the movie.
Oh.
So sad.
Look, I love movies as much as someone.
Yeah.
So I would love to give you a movie.
I'd love to listen, my company, what we do is make movie and TV shows. So obviously we want to make movie and TV show.
Obviously.
We're not going to, but it's not because we don't want to.
No.
It's because I hit my pinky.
So you can see why we couldn't possibly give you Batgirl.
I hit my pinky and now Batgirl's gone.
Oops.
I wanted to release it, but ouch. David Zaslav literally type of dude to come on an earnings call and will be like, a lot of people say that I hate creatives, and then we'll hang up. That's
Yeah. That's it. Devin Daner in the live studio audience said, stop infantilizing these sociopaths. No.
No.
No, it's funny. No, it's funny.
No, it's, once again, if we could, it's a bit. We're talking about
I want an it's a bit button.
Yeah. We're talking about the evil that they do.
It's a bit button right here.
Yeah.
A big fucking button that we smash into.
Yeah. If you want serious things to be done about corporate consolidation and the trouble with the disappearing middle class, you write your congressman. You don't watch us. You find out how to get involved in your local government. You don't tune in to us.
It's too early.
We just made a joke about Ninja from Fortnite selling hemorrhoid cream. Don't do it. Go do something else that's more worthwhile if you need things to be accomplished. They simply won't get done here.
I wouldn't call this show productive.
No.
I wouldn't say we contribute.
I wouldn't say there's a redeeming quality to us.
I wouldn't say we're great.
I wouldn't say we're good people.
No.
I wouldn't say we help.
No, I wouldn't say that we're doing good
No.
mentally, physically,
No.
emotionally for the world.
As one of my English teachers always told me, no. Doctors do good. You're doing well.
Damn.
You know what I mean?
That's brutal.
It's brutal.
That's brutal.
Superman does good.
Yeah.
You do well.
Yeah.
Words
Yeah.
have meaning.
Yeah. Words have meaning, everybody. But not ours. Our words mean nothing.
Yeah, our words mean nothing. Look, do we give you our opinions and our takes on these things, hoping to inform you a little better so you will take action?
Sure.
Sure.
Is this the action? No.
No. No. Emma.
Some people do watch things to feel like they contributed, and
Yeah.
we really want to make sure that you can't do that here.
No.
You can't just watch the news and be like, well, that was enough to help people.
You can contribute, but it's through
This isn't
donations
it.
to us.
You know what I mean? Sometimes when you watch the news and you're like, I've done my part as a citizen.
Yeah.
We make sure you cannot do that on this show.
Yeah, no.
We want you to know you have not done your part
We want you to be
by
sure.
watching It's Too Early.
We want you to know that you've actually wasted 90 minutes, and when you're on your deathbed, you can't have it back.
Yeah.
However, there are people that spent 3 years of their lives making this Coyote movie.
Yeah.
Which tested extremely well. It seemed like a very unique and creative concept. Warner Brothers hates those.
Yeah.
And so they shelved it because they simply only make things
Yeah.
that are dirt cheap. The way Discovery works, you make things that are dirt cheap, or you make lavish, crazy, expensive things that give you prestige and a few $1 billion.
Yes. It's all about margins.
Yeah.
So it's like if we're making something small, got to be like small to make big profit if it's not going to make the biggest profit.
Yes. So they just took the write down on this Coyote versus Acme movie. Over the last week after that announcement, a lot of the crew came forward. A couple behind the scenes clips were leaked.
Yeah.
Critics and people who had seen early cuts of the movie within the industry talked about it and talked about how good it was.
Yeah.
And due to that, the executives have reversed their decision and decided that they are going to try to shop the movie around. Now, this is interesting. It means that Warner Brothers is not going to just release the Coyote movie as a WB theatrical film.
Which is weird.
It also means that Warner Brothers does not want the Coyote movie for Max.
Right. Which is weird.
But we're seeing a lot of that. We're seeing a lot more of Warner Brothers shopping out their stuff to other streamers because they stand to make a little more money on it that way.
Yeah.
I would say, so what they're saying now is we want to find a home for this movie. We want to see it get released. I believe that to a point. I think on a $30 million movie, what they're going to look for from the person who buys the distribution rights
Yeah.
is like 1.5 times what they paid to make the movie.
Yeah.
Maybe a little less. So what you're looking at is they're trying to sell this movie to somebody for $70 million.
And who's going to put $70 million into just the distribution of a movie?
Right. To be the people that release the Coyote movie. I mean, to be the studio that releases it, you have to bank on the fact that that movie, because then if you buy it for $70 million, you need that movie to make $200 million.
Right. Because you're also going to have to invest into the marketing of this movie to get it to make that money. I don't see this as like, oh, great, the movie's going to come out now. It might just be a thing to shut people up.
Yeah, I think this is Warner Brothers. They're going to shop it around, and when they don't
well,
get
we tried.
when they don't get $70 million, they're going to be like,
I guess no one wanted it.
I guess we were right. We just got to shelve it.
We would have loved to.
Oh, such a bummer.
Yeah.
We love movies.
And I'm also like, where was this for Batgirl?
Yeah.
And I know they're not going to let go of any DC property. They're not going to let anyone else release it. But I'm like,
Yeah. Particularly a couple years ago during the Batgirl stuff when they weren't gutting Max yet. They still really wanted people to see Max as like a growing service. Batgirl was the first cut that came where we went, oh, it begins.
Yeah.
And then they really started slashing the Max content after that.
Yeah.
So if they had shopped Batgirl around, it would have made the DC brand look less
know.
valuable, and it would have made Max look less valuable.
yeah.
Also, Batgirl's a $90 million movie, which means somebody would have to buy Batgirl for $200 million.
Yeah.
It's a tough sell.
That is.
And when you make a movie like Coyote versus Acme and you make it for $30 million, there's a reason you make it for $30 million.
Right.
You make it for $30 million because you go, we're going to release this ourselves through our own distribution channels, and we'll be able to make 3-4 times what we spent on it.
Yes.
The other thing that's going to be tricky is they say that they're going to give the cast and crew of the movie streaming bonuses, which are the new hotness.
Okay.
Because basically this was supposed to be a theatrical film. John Cena did this movie. It's a $30 million movie. James Gunn came up with the story for the film.
Okay.
And was one of the 3 people that like came up with the story and wrote the film. So it's like James Gunn got his buddy John Cena to be in the movie.
Yeah.
John Cena said, I'll do it for less than usual, but it was probably like, you have to give me a little more of the profits.
Right. A little more on the back end.
I'll do
something, some points.
I'll do it for less up front because we're buddies and this is a fun idea for a movie.
Yeah.
Now, John Cena isn't getting that money. And we've got another situation like a Black Widow situation on our hands.
Yeah.
Where it's like, well, now you got to, anybody who, if they sell this movie, if this movie winds up making any money, they got to pay John Cena. So they would rather, and everybody else who's part of the movie.
Right.
They would rather this movie not sell, I think. Which is a bummer because it sounds like a good movie.
Yeah. And then they got a lot of positive press of people being like, we did it. We shifted the tides. They listened to the fans. And they're going to enjoy and bask in that to be like, well, now people can stop talking about how we're bad for a minute until we do the next bad thing.
The other thing that would be bad about this is if somebody buys this movie and it's not great,
Yeah.
it's going to get like double backlash.
I know.
It's going to get double internet backlash.
Yeah.
Like this is the movie that like we had to save. So it's a bit of a tricky situation.
It's a bit of a little tricky sitch.
I want to see it. I want to see the film.
I also want to see the film. I want to mention one more thing because we mentioned it in the intro and we're running out of time. And that is officially the Overwatch League is over. You might be thinking, when the fuck was the last Overwatch League? I thought it's been over for some time, but no. Right now, it looks like Activision Blizzard will have to pay out a total of $120 million in fees to the teams to formally disband the Overwatch League.
Yeah, it looks like the vote to make it happened on Friday. Each team is going to get $6 million, which if you are somebody who is running one of those teams is actually a little less than your franchise fees and costs would have been for the year. Everybody's estimating that it's about $7.5 million a season to run an Overwatch team.
Okay.
So they're not quite getting back what they would have this year. It's also a bummer for, I guess, people who were waiting for it to come back in a big way or were hoping it was going to pull out of this.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm going to tell you.
We were not those people.
Number one, we weren't those people. Number two, esports, and I say this not as somebody that doesn't like esports or doesn't want to see success in esports. Esports right now is was a highly overvalued market that is starting to see drops and losses from the fact that it was highly overvalued. Not from the fact that there's no audience. No. Not from the fact that there's no way to run it at a profit. It's just a lot of like speculative outside investment, particularly from other countries, was coming into American esports in a very big way that was betting on esports being just as big as any other sports.
And immediately. And betting on that happening immediately.
A lot of these people were taking not long-term sports style investment deals. They were taking tech and game style investment deals because they're straddling the lines of sports and tech.
Yeah.
And those tech investment deals it's the kind of thing that like Embracer did, where they took $2 billion in that investment from that Saudi firm and they had to turn it around in 2 years or something.
Right.
Because line has to go up so fast in tech and games.
Yeah.
Esports just didn't have the infrastructure for that. You've got League, which is the hugest thing.
Yes.
And prints its own money. And so that's good. But the other sports, even popular ones, things like Dota that get like huge viewers for like, there aren't a lot of markets for this. And Overwatch in particular, because got hit by COVID, couldn't do a lot of in-person events, obviously, which cut down on ticket sales and merch sales, which made Overwatch League not profitable during the pandemic.
Because they had their own physical location in LA.
That's right.
They bought like an arena essentially for Overwatch League.
And not just that, they in the last couple of years expanded it so every team had their own arena and their own theater. So they were supposed to be in-person events in all of these cities where the individual franchisees could be making ticket sales.
And most of those were purchased in 2019, which obviously was right before we went into quarantine.
Yep. The other big thing that happened, of course, is the Activision Blizzard lawsuits.
And the Activision Blizzard acquisition.
The lawsuits, I think, were the biggest thing for the league.
Yeah.
Obviously, any acquisition is going to change things for the way a business runs. But for League, the biggest thing that happened to them is once the Activision bad press started, all of their huge sponsors dipped out.
Yes.
We were talking about huge sponsors like Coca-Cola or Pepsi. I forget which one. It was a big soda brand, like one of these huge
We're
spenders.
like, we cannot be affiliated with this game.
And it turned into like Cheez-Its.
Yeah. Yeah.
They got Butterfinger once for a week.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's like you turned from a major like quarterly ad buy for these large corporations into some of their discretionary tech spending to see how it goes.
Yeah.
And that really affected the league. And also people don't like Overwatch 2, and that affected the league.
That also, you released a bad fucking game that people aren't excited about anymore.
So for Blizzard's part, they are saying that competitive Overwatch will continue. We will be creating a new form of this. It will not be the Overwatch League. I'll be interested to see if it spins back up in any sort of way. I don't think it will.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, I was somebody who was very into Overwatch upon release. Obviously, I do not play Activision Blizzard games anymore. That is a personal hardline stance for me. That is the stance of also a lot of people in gaming that a lot of people have made because of the terrible actions of the company. And, you know, there's terrible actions of a lot of companies, and Blizzard has actually gone to the point where a lot of people genuinely did stop playing. It's one of those things where, like, God, every one of these game companies actually has done horrible things to women, but like, you were so bad you got sued by the state and people actually did stop playing.
Yeah.
And then they also released a bad game. So it's like, I don't know, maybe this is the consequences of your actions. I don't know. What if there are consequences for your actions of being bad people making bad games? Seems real.
I don't know.
Seems real.
I think the thing is, I don't think anybody's proven that anything happens if you fuck around.
Right.
Like, I don't think it's impossible to know what happens if you fuck around.
Alex did confirm in the chat that Coca-Cola, State Farm, and T-Mobile were all big sponsors that dropped out.
You lost Jake. He went to NBA. He traded sports.
Yeah.
He's like the Michael Jordan of sports sponsors for things.
Yeah. And like, you know, that makes sense that they all dropped out. They cannot be affiliated with the company that was sued by the state over a woman taking her own life because of mistreatment at their company.
Yeah.
Like, I think that we lose touch sometimes of like what actually happened. And it's like, oh, it was like bro culture, boys, harassment, whatever. Like, no, like the severity in which this was so massive.
It was like triple digit incidents that were documented.
Yeah. There was the Cosby Suite, as some of you might remember, that was a regular occurrence when they were booking hotel suites for conventions around BlizzCon and things like that, run by male employees there. And truly, due to mistreatment and harassment at the company, a woman lost her life. So it is worth noting when talking about Activision Blizzard for me every single time. Because people lose track of like, well, so many video game companies are bad.
Yeah.
So many big corporations are bad. And I understand that like, God, people are talking a lot lately about like boycott fatigue. And it's like, come on.
How do these people have boycott fatigue when I know that 99% of them aren't boycotting shit?
Right. And also like,
are you tired of hearing about people boycotting things?
And it's so hard for you to not spend your money somewhere.
Yeah. What am I supposed to do?
Oh no. That video I sent you that was just like, I can't sleep. I'm just too excited about all of the purchases I'm going to make tomorrow.
Yeah. I can't wait to trade my money for goods or services.
Yeah. Dude, so I have to agree. Janelle said, let's just all play the Suka watermelon game instead. Anthony, have you gotten on this yet?
I've watched somebody play it. It's all over Twitch right now.
Oh my God. I've played so much of it in the last 72 hours. I can't believe when we were talking about our weekend, I didn't talk about it. I want you to know that there was a group of 3 of us at this drag show waiting for the show to start. standing in the corner playing this game.
Is it on phones or Switch?
It's on everything.
It's on everything. Okay,
It's
I've only
browser
seen
based.
I've only seen people playing it like on Switch.
It's on Switch. It's on Steam. But I've only been playing the browser based one. Excellent. Look, as someone who I know loved Cookie Clicker very much,
Yeah.
you're gonna lose your fucking mind. It's more game than Cookie Clicker.
Yeah.
I don't know why I can't say Cookie Clicker right now, but it's.
I'll try it.
Tell me your high scores, everyone. Tell me your high scores. I think my high score is like 2,600 something. It's not terribly impressive. But everyone tell me your high score.
Yeah. And you know where you can tell us your high scores? You can tell us here in chat, but it's also great to do it over on the Discord where we're all hanging out.
So true. It's completely free to join our Discord. You don't even have to be subscribed. You can just hang out with the other BBs. You can suggest stories of things that you want to see us talk about and cover on the show and give our opinions on.
That's right. You can also do other things to help support us and be part of the community. The fact that you're here is the biggest ding dang thing you can do. Thanks for watching.
We make a show so that you'll watch it, but you can also check us out at patreon.com/pixelcircus and get a bonus clip from It's Too Early every week.
Ooh, fancy.
And you get access to our entire backlog. You can do a 7-day free trial or a year membership to save 15%.
That's right. It's like the Geico of things.
Yeah.
You know, with the gecko
Yeah.
and whatnot.
You save
Do you know what
money.
happened?
What?
My brain hit that point where it's just like, no, show done.
Show done.
And show brain turned off.
Yeah,
did you
that's
watch
okay.
it happen in the
I
middle
did.
of that sentence?
I did.
It was wild.
Hey, where can they find you on the internet?
I don't know. You can find me everywhere at A Carboni, except for here on Twitch, where I am at Anthony Carboni. Twitch, you cowards, it's mine. Give it back to me. All weekend, of course, we were playing Like a Dragon Gaiden, but we are all month playing games that we think could potentially be Game of the Year contenders. So come check that out today at 4 p.m. I might be playing Little Goody Two Shoes, Sage, the witch game. You might want to come. Do you want to come play Witch Game?
I want to play it so bad.
Do you want to come play Witch Game with me?
I cannot today.
I can put off Witch Game maybe.
Maybe another day.
Maybe another day.
Maybe
What
another
are
day.
you? Why? What are you doing today? Where can people find you?
You can find me everywhere on the internet at Not Sage. I stream on my channel Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Tonight I will not be streaming. I don't believe because I'm gonna go celebrate the D&D Fast show that I did an episode of.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so-
it's a good show.
Yeah, so I'm on an episode of Faster Purple Worm Kill that'll be coming out sometime soon. But tonight they're doing a little celebration for the launch of all of the D&D shows.
Oh, fun.
So that'll be neat and lovely and great. But find me where I stream on other days. Alex, how about you?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Alder_Mancy. And I, once again, am going to be streaming for charity for Doctors Without Borders on twitch.tv/rolling for charity, November 18th at 6 p.m. EST or 3 p.m. PST.
Woo! 2640 is my high score for everyone who was
There you go.
wondering.
2640.
That's my current high score. Got that last night. All right, everybody. We're going to go through and we are going to thank everyone that supported us directly during the stream here on Twitch. You can do that through subs. You can do that through donations. You can do that through bits. You can do that through just being here. But we
right.
don't shout out your name for just being here. I'm sorry. I'd love to.
Yeah.
There's a few too
But
many.
there's just a lot of people
you
here.
guys, which we love. Thank you.
Which that's also cool.
so cool. Thank you.
But you know.
Thank you, iRed for the bit. Thank you, Speedpunk, for the bit. Flannel Fries gifting a sub to Mark Hoppus.
Hey.
Because I guess this is growing up.
Shout out, Mark.
Tom Biden with the bit. Hudsonizer with the bits. Thank you so much. P.S. Witch said Happy Garfield Day with their
we
17
Garfin.
months. Sir Ross the Weary for 35 months.
Woo.
And then Elise came in hot gifting subs this morning.
What?
Elise, thank you so much. You do not have to do that. How dare you? We love you. Thank you very, very much. All right, everybody. Take care of yourselves. Thank you for spending your morning with us, and we will see you on Wednesday.
Bye, BBs.